All right, boys and girls, what we're going to learn is we're going to go ahead and open our books, our red books, to page 58. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and read, and this is our question. This is the question that we're going to go focus on in the whole chapter. So, what can we learn from different kinds of maps? So we're going to learn about the different kinds of maps that we see and what information they give us. Okay, so let's go ahead, follow along, and then you're going to go ahead and answer some questions at the end of the lesson. Our country. This is a political map of the United States. This one right here. It shows 50 states and their borders. It also shows the borders between countries. Okay. One border is between the United States and Canada. Another border is between the United States and Mexico. Washington, D.C. is the capital city of the United States, and the country's government offices are in the capital. Oops. Okay, so let's look. When they're talking about borders, these are the lines, okay? So these are the borders. Okay, so each state has a line, and then it's what we know as borders. So when they're talking about the borders from Canada, they're talking about these up here. This is the border from Canada and the United States. When they're talking about the borders between the United States and Mexico, they're talking about this line right here. This is all the United States with different states, but this is the border to Mexico. Okay. Now, when they're talking about Washington, D.C., so if you guys look at the map right here, we see that little star. That is the state capital. The United States capital. So this is where they're talking about Washington, D.C. You see the star right there. That is where all the offices from the United States are held at. So that is Washington, D.C. right there. Okay. So the states of Hawaii and Alaska are shown near the big map. So if you guys look over here, they show them like this because they're off the map. So here is Hawaii, and then this is Alaska. So what did you learn about the United States map? I want you to look at it. How many states? I want you to think, how many states does it have? Okay. So what I want you to do is look at the map. How would you describe the location of California? Look at the map. How would you describe the location? Is it in the middle? Is it north, south, west, or east of the map? So remember, you can go ahead and discuss that. Just think about it. Think about it. Okay, so let's go over here, and I'm going to show you another map. This is physical maps. So this is a different type of map. This physical map down here shows different types of land. Okay, so it shows mountains, deserts, and valleys. The physical map also shows bodies of water. It can show oceans, lakes, and rivers. And what does this map tell you about California? So when you look here, this is a map key down here. And a map key uses pictures like symbols to show the different types of land and water. So if you look here, this red line that goes along this right here, it tells me it's the coast. Okay, it tells me it's the coast. It's where you have the land and the water meet. Okay, and then you see this right here, this wiggly line that looks like a flip S. This tells me that there's a river. So if you look at this map, an overview of the map, it will tell you that this right here, that right here in the middle of Central California, there's a river. Okay, see if you can find the other river. If you said over here, you are correct. Okay, now look at this one right here. This is a mountain. So go ahead and look at look at the map and see if you can find the mountain. If you said this one, you're right. That's a mountain. Now, this is a valley. This is a valley. Right here is the valley. Okay. Now, this right here, this symbol is the symbol of a desert. Okay, so the symbol of the desert. Go ahead and see if we can find the desert on the mountain. Yes, if you said right here, this is the desert. Okay, so Central Valley is a large flat valley in California. Okay, so this is one of the valleys that we have in California, and it's called Central Valley. Mount Whitney is the tallest mountain in California. So this mountain is called Mount Whitney is the tallest mountain in California that we have. The Pacific coast of California passes through the redwood forest and the sunny beaches. So this is the coast. Remember I said it's the water and where the land meets in the water. San Francisco Bay is a curved stretch of water in California. So this is San Francisco. Okay, Death Valley in Southern California. It is one of the hottest places in the world. That's why it's called Death Valley. So, as you can see, the physical map tells us the type of land that the map shows. So, the type of land that the map shows is the physical map. Okay, so it tells us if it has rivers, mountains, valleys, or deserts. And what I want you to think about is how can this help us to use this kind of physical map? How can a map like this help us to use this map? I want you to think, which of these places in California would you like to visit? So think about, where would you like to go in California? Because California is a very big state. Which is one of the places that you would like to visit looking at the physical map? Okay. Now, going back here, this is the map of the United States. So we learned about the borders, and then we learned that each state has a border, and then we learned that capital of the United States was Washington, D.C. So as we're learning that there's different maps. I want you to go ahead and answer that question. Which of the places would you like to visit using this map? And how can a map help us, a physical map help us when we're looking at it? Okay, so think about that, record your response, and upload it into Schoology.